So we will go ahead and do the session. Earlier I asked the pendulum if it wanted me to do a session today. The pendulum is okay with me doing a session today. It is about my own journey going forward, something connected, I don't know. Anyway, we are in the eclipse season. The next eclipse is going to be on the 29th of March. Also, Saturn changes houses on that day. It is important for me because it's a good transit for me going forward. My 7.5 years of Saturn return also come to an end. Anyway, that eclipse is not going to affect India. So I've checked the almanac, there's nothing to do with India at all. So I suppose she's okay with me doing the throw and seeing what it is the journey going forward. Okay, now if I can just clock the day and time, it is a nice day. It's 20th of March 2025. It is a Thursday. It is 11:39, 11:40, 11:45. We're very close to noon. I've eaten a nice salad, so I'm quite taken care of food wise. So I think I'll be able to do this session without getting distracted for food. Okay. Now, since we're going to go with the tarot throw, which is what I need to do, we'll go ahead and take Shirdi Sai Baba's blessings to guide me through this, along with the spirit who is guiding me through the pendulum. We take Gaur Mata's blessings, we take Ganesh Ji's blessings, we take Krishna's blessings, we take Vishnu's blessings, we take Shiv Ji's blessings, we take Shani's blessings, most important. Okay, and then we go ahead and do the throw. And she said do both the throw as well as the pendulum, both of them. This reading is specific to me. It is not really a read for issues that have happened in the past. Hopefully it is my journey going forward, what I need to know. So hopefully it will answer that way. Well, I cannot be doing issues of the past all the time, especially because in a lot of the uncovered stuff that has happened in the background, little light can be thrown on it because it is in the timeline of things that has happened in the past. To make sense of it and to address the issue, to understand it from today's perspective, because whatever issues have come up in the past with regards to things that have happened behind people's knowledge, without their knowledge, all underground, which affects our today and then affects tomorrow also. फिर वो तो the proof is in the pudding. Already खा चुके हैं 1995 or 1986 if you want to take it to now 2025. So how to address it is not my job. Only what in all probability happened according to the throw behind the scenes, just throwing little light in that direction is what my throw does. So today is going to be a personal read. Okay, and going to be tarot as a break. A break from other stuff. Okay, so can I go ahead and do the read with the tarot and with some pieces thrown? We're talking about JAYA.ADVANI's journey going forward, the holder of the pendulum, at the moment at J1801 Purva Palm Beach, 18th floor, at 560077 postcode. So my journey going forward. So without wasting time, I'll go ahead and do the read. Okay. So depending on what cards we get, and I'm keeping Shirdi Sai Baba here. So let's see what does what does she want to say? I think we'll go with the Lenormand first. Okay, I'll go with the Lenormand first. So we'll follow through this one. We'll follow through this one. Let me ask. So in the Lenormand, should I do this one, which is different areas of life? Should I go ahead and do this one? Different areas of life. Okay. So I'll do different areas of life. Okay. So we go with career, knowledge, wealth, family, health, relationship. Since I don't really have, okay, I'll go with it. We'll just follow through the way it is over here, the exact same thing. This is going forward. If you can give me guidance. So for career, this is the first lot. Then comes knowledge, second lot. Then comes wealth. Third lot. Then comes family. Fourth lot. Then comes health. Fifth lot, and finally comes relationship. Okay, fifth lot. So wealth and relationship is what I'm seeing is a problem. Specifically, someone is looking to grab wealth is what I understand. There is a man trying to grab wealth, or there is a man whose wealth somebody else is trying to grab. Okay, so this is the problem. A maze having created problems trying to eat other people's wealth. Okay, I'm not surprised to see that. Your this digital effort is to eat. You have misrepresented people so badly only with the idea of eating. But you don't realize for the pennies you are in for so much trouble in the future. No, you're an idiot. I can go and survive in the Himalayas. I got no problems. But giving with shitty energy like you is an absolute no-no. Like garbage. Okay, so career, what do we have? For 1729. So if we look at 17, which is the stock, so it talks about movements, upgrades, improvements, spring, change of seasons, a new state of evolution, so it is the stock with so it is a life-giving sun. Okay, okay, if it is talking about a house, it could say a change of dwelling. So there could be a change of dwelling. Of some kind, because it is with the house. So someone has stolen, or someone's looking to steal. Okay, this is got to do with knowledge. So knowledge is with the key to open up all the dark of stuff that was locked in the past. We see a rose over here. That may be Fernandez with very dark activity. Going forward, it is light with the moon, which is the mother, who I'm being told that the mother passed on. So the consultation is with the mother who's already a ghost. That is not my family. That is ex-employees, but connected with very dark energy. So that's still again repeating the same thing. So when it comes to knowledge, it is probably throwing light on what is dark and what is light. And what is dark, no matter how much money is involved, one gets rid of anything that is atomically dark. Worse still, karmically dark. It cannot serve you more than one step forward, a zillion behind. So we leave it at that. I will not argue it. I'm in charge of my own journey. I'm not taking responsibility of other people. I'd rather be in this energy than that shit. Okay, so let's go with 32 and see what is 32 all about. Okay, 32 is love, romance, intuition, psychic abilities, imagination, creativity, sky, reaching across the sky and influencing waters, admired all around, fame, honors. The moon card is depicted as the crescent holding the horns, various cycles of nature, the moon to the full. Below is the clockwork, indicating nature is affected by the mechanics of the universe. The moon card does not quite live up to the brilliance of the sun. It is watery in nature, and it is to have recognition. Think of the emotional sirens and the silver screen, acting by intuition, by method, living the emotions of a part that they are playing in order to act. It produces great creativity but also creates casualties, such as Marilyn Monroe. The moon brings emotional illumination. The moon, however, really flourishes in close proximity to the sun. It needs the forceful energy the sun emits to shine in the world to full capacity. So if you notice, the sun is in direction of the moon. Right? Behind this card is that. In the Lenormand tradition, the moon is recognition by others reflecting on oneself. It is thus fame and notoriety. Illuminates only what others project onto it. And when it turns up in a reading, careful reflection is required. 33 is the key discovery solutions you find in the synchronicity, signs, fate. When I land close to you, you have the means, the answers of what is troubling you. To the right is very highly important, or what needs to be solved. That's dark going into light. That needs to be solved because that is to the right of it. The solution to the problem can be found giving in the possession of the key card. It both unlocks and secures depending on which way it is turned. The answer is within the reach. This is a card of liberation, although it can also be a tool of captivity. The glided bird cage of the reverie speaks of a bird palace which can become a prison. Inside is a rose symbolizing mystery, a mystery that unfolds as the key unlocks it. It is also, of course, a symbol of love, the most common of all mysteries. This card can influence many things. Next to the heart, it can unlock feelings of the key to the heart. Next to the book, it can unlock knowledge and so on. So no, I think this unlocks dark activities, throwing light through psychic abilities, clairvoyance, which is what it said, which is what we're doing. And that is the knowledge that one has to look into to develop further understanding of what has happened. Okay, that's what I understand when it comes to knowledge. So let's just put it this way. Now comes this one, which is wealth. So this one's really dangerous. He's always looking to eat something, or there is a man who is looking at the snake who's looking to eat, having created the maze. This may not be so bad because of the way the cards have fallen. Okay, there is a man looking at the situation from the outside. This is not a good card. This is not a good card. So he is looking at a situation of a snake having created a mess and looking to grab things in some way. How do we read it? Okay, so let's just go with 28 is a man. He's like with Mars on his chest. That's what we understand. He's a very powerful man, is what the reading says. This, we'll go with that. Number 7. 28 reminds me of my cousin, as I told you, right? Nikhil is number 28. But Nikhil is, thank God, he's still around. Right? So he's still around. He hasn't passed on like the rest of them. So he's still around, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, number 7 is Putin's number. And this is also number 7, broken up into 4 and 3. 4 is the sister and 3 is the mother and aunt. So 12 is the aunt. My mother is 12. Both come to 3. 4 is my sister, 22. Also Kabir Gupta, who's no more, he's also number 4. Umesh, who's no more, he's number 24. He has 4 in his number. My mom, I was telling you, it's sad because if she was born in 1946, then she's good. She's 3 and 3. But if she's born in 1947, one has to question it, because then she becomes a number 3, but number 4 is her destiny number, which is not that great. Equivalent to her is Shilpa. Shilpa is born on 3rd of June. That is Binu Rao's daughter, Sadrangani, my mom's sister. Shilpa is also born on the 3rd of June 1975. So she becomes 3, but then 4 is her destiny number. Also, the labyrinth is people like Bryn. I think he also is destiny number 4 finally. So the problem always is created by this 4 number. They are Rahu, they want to be the guru. Rahu has got very selfish energy and they are totally wealth oriented. Anything for money. They're greedy for anything that's materialistic. They're very materialistically inclined. The opposite of it is, I would say, people who are more spiritual. That's number 3, because it is Jupiter's number, expansion. Rahu does expansion with ways that are little, depending to what degree, but they're very street smart. We're lucky over here, the one looking at the situation is a number 1. So that is more to do with Vishnu's number. Right? So anyway, this one likes to bring about Pluto force change. But that's like a dangerous snake looking to grab anything he can grab. So we'll go with number 7. Watch out for the snake, because always hiding. Can never trust or believe the snake. Cheating, deceiving, and will betray you in a heartbeat. Be careful where you are treading. The fangs will surely have you dreading. In the game of hope, it says that you should stay safe from the bite of the dangerous snake. So that also reminds me, when I went to New Zealand, what is it? We're crossing the bridge. Huge snake spits venom at me. And I duck it and get one small sprinkle on my cheek. But then all this has happened after that. That was 2010. Now 2025 is still grappling with this. It was a deep state dream. Then the other one where there are snakes underground. A python and those ones with 3-4 of them with their fangs from the trench below, and the leopard jumps up. That is after how many years? That's after about 14 years. So the first snake dream which is dangerous is before I go to New Zealand, 2010 or early 2011. Next one was when? 2024, I think. So these guys are dangerous. So not a good situation, I am telling you. You are showing one thing, but what is underneath you are not understanding it. What is underneath is the foundation. It's all back to Bombay. It is all back to 86. And then from that time, what all has happened behind the scenes, it involves on the streets. In the pendulum only in the earlier thing we have talked about, explaining Malabar Hill, PDP, Darshani Park, Sivri sewers, then what government stuff is there in Malabar Hill, yeah? Then how things have transpired. Then all the way to seeing in Trump's face, I'm seeing Kira, how Elon's camp. It's all homegrown from Bombay. First Bombay, then Delhi, then to the south states of India, and straight to America. And I don't know what is running it from Russia. Yeah, because for Russia is Putin. Vladimir Putin's number is 7. He's 7 and 7. He's double 7. But for him, we've got Putin, T-E-N, and Putan, T-A-N. But the Russians are not tan. They're fair. So then his height is, even a girl can get into his height. All my aunts are below, in and around 5'1", 5'2", 5'3". Any woman, even I can become him. I just need to lose weight, jump into his body suit. They are able to take the conscience, and I'll start talking Russian like I knew it from the day I was born. They're able to do this. Are sometimes you make me talk like I'm either Scottish. I could never do that before. Sometimes suddenly you make me talk like as if I'm little French, but I'm not. So why he can't do it if it's his job and he's making money and inside is tan, outside is white? Why it can't happen? Anyway, it says stay safe from the bite of the dangerous snake. You should be afraid, very afraid. A betrayal may very well be in the cards where the card is at. Watch out for superficial person who is prone to be malicious, particularly combined with a dog, quite literally a bitchy best friend, meaning you harm. Let's just say it is a duplicitous behavior, and a two-faced person could be a problem. The card warns you to be wary and watch where you tread. The snake in the apple tree alludes to Garden of Eden. Now शाहपुर जी पालन जी के प्लेस पे भी हमको क्या मिला, वो भी 4 नंबर है. Eden was given in the SP case of YRUSMISTRY. So our snake here in the apple tree alludes to the Garden of Eden, the original breakup of the happy relationship seen in the earlier cards, such as the house. The Lenormand cards are firmly rooted in Christian tradition, such as the cross, the park, you should be wary and look to the cards around the snakes to see what is the nature of evil in the situation. So the nature of evil in the situation is 4 and 3, but a maze, which means you don't know, your pinky finger doesn't know what your sun finger is up to, your sun finger doesn't know what your Saturn finger is up to, your Saturn finger doesn't know what your index finger is up to, and none of them know what your thumb is up to. There is complete confusion. That is, they are confusing the things because of taking the egos of people and putting it on this. The whole idea is greed, to steal, 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 steal. If they are not willing to leave my dimes, वो तुम्हारा बड़ा खजाना कहाँ पे छोड़ेगा? Use your brains. This is about me, but it is synchronized to everybody else. Because if my dimes are not willing to leave, हर दिन, I don't want to give bad words, every day they say dimes, dimes, कुछ ना कुछ बोलते रहते हैं. Today I told you about the Mr. Jeff Bezos and his wife, McKinsey. Some lady was wailing about dimes. हम बोलो, why are wailing all the time in my house about my dimes? Then I understood, no, this is not about my dimes. This is about that breakup that happened where she got 4%. That also is 4. So this chap is grabbing everything from wherever he can, anywhere and everywhere. You better catch him. You people will not have anything left. I am telling you. This is why, again, let me repeat, Mr. Airtel and Mr. Jio, do not get into that Starlink. You'll have nothing left on you. Okay, so 43 is the labyrinth. When you think you've done everything you can, you hit a wall and you have to start again. I am the labyrinth and keeps you going through trial and error to the very end. There are no shortcuts to success. This card is about making your way through a confusing stream of events, often led by trial and error. You have goals and destinations you wish to reach, but getting over there is very difficult. More than you expect. The road isn't a direct one, has twists and turns. No matter how much you plan and strategize, at some point you face inevitable mistakes. Be prepared for new false alarms, turns and dead ends. The labyrinth card directs you to retrace your steps if necessary. This is why we're going back into the timeline 100 times. I starts from 86. You understand? The Labyrinth card directs you to retrace your steps if necessary and take a different route. Sometimes there simply is no direct path. Regrouping and starting again is not failure, it's all part of the process. Even when you feel you are starting back at square one, you will be able to begin with new information and greater knowledge of the landscape. So, your hidden snakes under the ground, landscape ही है, and the trenches in the ground. It goes back to Bombay, 1986. No, I can't help it. I love that city, but I have to establish what it is I am getting. Now that is one thing, is gone to Delhi. It has moved to South India. It's gone to America. It had finished off Europe before only. The Labyrinth card can be a puzzle or a problem requiring rational deduction to solve. There are no easy answers and shortcuts. A narrow viewpoint will keep you from seeing the larger picture. This is why I said, I am dimes, but the larger picture is what? The wealth. If my dimes you're not willing to let go of, तो बड़े खजाने को कैसे छोड़ सकता है? And you've been at it from 86. Everywhere we are seeing your same process, the way you've been doing things. It is repetitive processes and behavior. At the end of it, wherever you steal from, you spit over there, you defame them, and you run to the next bigger thing, or to another location altogether. A narrow viewpoint will keep you from seeing the larger picture. You should also notice the card shows more than one person. It is a message that you are not going down this road alone. Others are also facing the same challenges and may be able to help work out the solution. You understand? This card also illustrates the frustrating attempts to connect with others. Something is keeping you separate from people or goals. Now is not the time to turn your back on others. As you calculate the next move, think not just about how you can get ahead individually, but how you can contribute to the group solutions. Now, if you think I'm making up stories, no, I'm not. This is the Labyrinth. Read it for yourself. This is card number 43. Labyrinth. You can pause it to read it if you wish to, but this is what it has to say. All the time they're giving me bad words, but we're just letting you know for your own good. So it is definitely a problem. Okay, all this is the Labyrinth. So can I, let me ask. Can I clarify those cards? Is it okay to clarify those cards? Connected with wealth, the Labyrinth, the snake, and the man. Will you be able to give me direction as to how to, what is the... You tell me how to handle it, or you tell me what is the outcome? You tell me what is the outcome? You can see through the timeline or what the outcome is going to be for this in relationship to who the snake wishes to eat things of. So let's just say the people who've been at the receiving end of, let's say, the maze and the snake, so far it has been loss for us for most part of it. So, but what is an expected outcome after this process gets over in the birth itself? Huh? Not in spirit, but by birth. In spirit, we know that the snake is done for in the future because the karma is very bad. So, I just want to know, in this birth, then do we face losses? In this birth, then in this body, am I going to like have to go through a tough time? Because the snake is busy trying to eat up other things of everybody, and mine are dimes, but if he's going for the big kill, then obviously we're the small fry. So we will not face you're sure we'll be okay? We're talking about in the physical body. I'm not talking about the spirit. I'm saying in the physical body, will we be okay? Will we manage to be in a situation that we're able to survive? Okay, she says we'll be able to survive. So I'll clarify it. Okay, I'll clarify it. And let's just see what happens. What I'll do is, yeah, I'll have to keep it open. Okay, we tried to clarify it over here. So please give me guidance for clarifying this situation. We remove our glasses primarily just in case our glasses are connected with technology in some way, IP address, meta and all of that. I don't want you interfering technologically with what I'm doing. Okay? It's not your prerogative to do that. So Shirdi Sai Baba and Spirit who was guiding me, how to clarify the situation for the outcomes to be what is to be expected. Okay, this is what we've got. This was the first card. This is the second card. This is the third card. This has got to do with corporations. This has got to do with wisdom. Dealing with the snake with wisdom. Number 4 and 3 ended up in positions with the whip and the birch. So if you understand, the wisdom of 12 is connected with 3, connected with the labyrinth. 38 also comes to 12. 8, 9, 10, 11. No, it comes to 11. This is also 11 and this is also 11. I think someone went and ate up the wealth of somebody. Because you keep calling, I say, you keep calling my sister a cleaner. And you keep calling my mom also cleaner. You call Kiran uncle also cleaner. That's connected with this, but that's not their job. In fact, this kind of stuff the Jamadar uses when cleaning bathrooms in the olden days. It is that crowd, one of those boys only who I say has gone away to America, and it is that crowd who has been hired to do the work for in the name of nation building or in the name of God knows bridging the gap of inequality. The other name is called Dalit. But on the back of it, there is a lot of stealing and putting into place people who you cannot actually, they're nobodies. Other than greed, there is nothing that really motivates them. Whoever's put them in place, finally they will eat you also up. That's the situation you have created. So there is definitely stealing involved. And connected with corporations. Anyway, we will just read it. Let's see what it is. Okay, 38. She's no more. She's no more. Her husband is no more. If you want to talk about Kailash Aunty, I've been told even Kailash Aunty, you have pulled her off. You have put someone else as in her place. But not before you have affected Kailash Auntie's brother also before that. That's 86. Okay, so anyway, let's just go with 38. What is it's called bridges. It's not corporations, it's a bridge. This one is a bridge. Okay. So maybe this man is a bridge to try to get wisdom on what has happened. The snake was chasing number 12. The snake is an underground movement involving who? What kind of people for the labyrinth and the maze? Okay, anyway, the bridges is near or far, wide or narrow, steep or straight are some of the traits. In whatever form is a connection to places, people, points in time. I can span the spaces that separate you. I can shorten the distance that can bring you together. A symbol of transition, overcoming obstacles. So he is very key to overcoming obstacles. The bridge card acts as a way to cross a divide and thereby opens up a new opportunity. It is something that assists you in getting to a destination. This card is significant addition to the Lenormand deck because it offers a solution to the problem, helping to bridge the gap. So this has got to do with this powerful man who's Mars. Okay, the card can mean a reconciliation, connection, or building bridges between people. It is another sense. Bridge is a place of brief interludes or meeting. It suggests a resolution on a contractual issue. Then we go to 12 where it comes to the birds, the owl. The owl indicates communication, usually less frivolous in nature. Owls can be sharing wisdom, urging you to listen to what the elders or learned friends have to say. Owls can also be telling you to look for other important signs around. Then comes 11, the birch. Be warned of a high temper. Bring conflict and strife. You will find me in the competition because I work with repetition. Arguments and quarrels are my patent. But I am not always a villain. I can be found in the gym or in a lusty bed on a whim. The birch broom is one of the troublesome cards in the Lenormand. Unlike tarot, they are definitely favorable and unfavorable cards in the system. Where the birch comes, frenzy will be whipped up, creating discord, and a person will be quick to anger. The card is trouble, strife, disharmony, conflict, argument, and all things stressful, particularly when seen with the birds. So it is not seen with the birds, but it is with the birds. Here also there is 12, here also there is 3. Here also there is 2, here also there is 2 in the bridge. A crack of the whip will be exerted either by you or against you. The reverie depicts the curling whip and birch, a bundle of branches tightly bound, which was used to reprimand and castigate. Birching was used in France during the French Revolution and during the time of Lenormand herself. It is if it has to be looked from a positive side, it is a card calling to bring the forces and attention together, to get focused, to get all the ducks in a row. So that is what you were told even earlier. The French Revolution is what? I'm going to go to French Revolution, the king is going to go to French Revolution, the Indian style. Which crowd will do the revolution? Except what you don't seem to understand is this is the law of karma. And the land where all our scriptures have very clearly established whatever it has established. The BJP won also the election holding that Bhagavad Gita. But then my reading says that Modi sold Gita, sold Sita, sold Gita, is anti-Indi and is Satan himself, the anti-God himself. Now he himself says that his mother used to clean vessels at other people's homes. That's probably because he's not the original Modi. वो shapeshifter है. There are 10-12 of them. उनमें से there is somebody you have to be very careful of. Now having a high temper, there is one version of Kanaya who had a high temper. Connected with that is one man, after we have crossed paths with Indian online broadband, he has gone to every family in the Advani family and they have called the energy of the situation in their homes. All the women have complained, whether it is my cousins or whether it is those girls who got married into our family. We're a very cool family under normal circumstances. We generally don't interfere with each other. When we meet happily, we socialize, have a good time, and then everyone gets back to their own homes. Modi's background is a Gujarati background. From where? Even if you're talking about people who are more conservative, are they always poking their nose in other people's affairs? Is that an Indian thing to do? In which section of society? Taking a high call about other people's lives. Whereas he has nothing to give and take with my home, yet they made a big deal of every section in my home, including my divorce, which is none of their business, because actually the ones who were from my family didn't have much to say, because our family functioned that way from 70s, maybe even earlier. But then he's the new entry, or the shapeshifter is the new entry. Wherever the guy has gone, everybody screamed toxicity. Very toxic. Yet, if you look at it from 2006 to whatever has transpired, I've left Bombay and come to Bangalore. This shit has followed me to Bangalore. You are shit. Total shit. Useless crap. Useless crap. So what section of society were you born into? And how much have you lied and stolen to get to where you are? What all didn't you put to use? How many people did you actually affect who had good God-given births? How many did you actually put to the side, grab their stuff and move ahead to the next one? Now, haven't you gone to America to do the same thing? Isn't you and your group responsible for whatever happened, whether it is Nepal, Sri Lanka, and last Bangladesh? I'm not saying Pakistan because Pakistan actually the issues from America itself. And it goes back to the 80s. They love shooting, putting the gun on somebody else's shoulder and doing things, pulling strings. They can give you the money, they don't get involved directly till absolutely necessary. The Bombay blast also which happened was Mr. Headley from where? With Kasar. With few locals or not, I don't know. The ones who were looking into the case should be able to make sense of it. Then on the aftermath of it, the operation itself was a troubled one. Why? The person heading it was a celebrated ATS officer. But what was not culminating to make him not be as successful as he otherwise always was? Then you defamed him also because he was close to retirement. Just the way you do it. But what about Mr. Roy after that? So you're only as good as the team working under you. But then when they're throwing euros, so everyone wants the euros. 10 euros for that bugger is not as much as it is for the Indians, right? 10 euros for them, and that also when they are sitting and they are doing so much damage to other people who have rightfully earned their money. वहाँ पे खजाना जो है बिलियंस के डॉलर्स में है, तो तुमको 10 यूरो फेंके तेरे मुंह पे तो उनको तो कोई फ़ायदा नहीं है, ऐसे 5 पैसे का चेंज है, लेकिन तू तो करेगा बंदर नाच. तो वही तो था INR to euros. So you have gone to America is what I understand. What I see over here, frankly telling you, someone created a complication on the wealth. This guy is the bridging gap. Is this Elon? Because he's also number 28. So does this go to Tesla camp? How did you change my leave license and giving the power of attorney to my father to only renew the office lease? You went and planted things into my body and you get a rental for studying my brain. Yes, Elon? You're such a whiz kid that you don't know what the difference is between signing an MOU with the one whose brain you're checking. Or you are so gullible to gossip. If that gossip is coming from the bloody fucking streets, then how do you know what you're hearing is even remotely okay? Where are you the whiz kid? I don't understand. But how much damage have you brought to people who didn't sign up? What is this crowd? You tell me, what is this freaking crowd? You're going to pander to that through your fucking open AI. Are you okay? You don't play fucking sounds in my body. That's the height of stupidity and the height of shamelessness. You're happy? How do you even eat? No wonder you don't spend on food. Must be really difficult to digest anything. Fuck it, to hell with it. Okay, I'm going to keep this to the side. Apparently, this is the guy who's handling the show. And we're going to be tying up with Starlink so that now he can eat up Ambani wealth and Mittal's wealth. Sign, you'll end up like this, worse than this. At least we got dimes. You got not much to lose. You're the one with all the wealth. That's why today India has managed to survive up to this point. Now let's all drown nicely. If I drown with dimes, it makes no difference. But if you drown plus your karma, where you'll run. For me, what? I decided not to bring any of my wealth, at least maximum wealth, during this time. Plus, I'm not, not that much engaged with a huge network. What about you? It's not about dimes. You're not getting the crux. You're not getting the crux of what is actually being spoken about. Okay, so the next one. The point is on the wealth card, if you notice, in a couple of places it was establishing with all authority that it is not just me alone, there are many people going through the same thing, and going forward it is going to be many people going through the same thing. So does it re-establish what I said from before? I said the last hawker on the street and the digitization effort. Then I said there's a day Mr. Ambani himself can be locked out of his own assets overnight. We don't know how. It's all digital. Yes, we talked about demonetization and the move to the digital era. We also questioned the biometrics and the Aadhaar card and its misuse or its use for better or use for worse. Okay, this is to do with family. Let's see family क्या है. (44, 22 and 9). So 44 is number 4. 22 is my sister. 444 and 9 just magnifies 444 everywhere. और राहु बनता है. Apparently many people in my family have got lots of Rahu in it. But if you look at it, you look at 4, 4, 8. 22 being the sister, that being 8. Uncles also are 4. 9 is some cousins. Okay, so anyway, let's just see. Let's see number 9. Flowers, beauty and a happy face is what I bring. I am a gift that warms the heart, recovery and well-being. No matter which card is before, I will always change it positively. Someone gives you a gift. It is a fragrant smell of joy, happiness, a show of appreciation could be on its way. It is through the language of flowers, pink tulips. In the Victorian era, flowers are used as a medium of communication. They become the code of lovers, a perfect way to covertly express love, passion and appreciation. Long before the Victorian period, a highly valued tulip was considered so desirable. It induced a phenomenon known as the tulip mania. Thus, the presence of this card signifies a valuable gift that is to be given or to be received. It is the label that contains the name of the deck in nod to earlier decks and often had the publisher's stamp embossed on one of the cards. Several early Lenormand decks contained the city flag of the publisher on the ship card, for example. Okay, is there a letter over here? No. Tower, park, no, none of it. Okay, so basically over here there is in the family something to do with a gift. And 22 is, we need to look for it with a magnifying glass, but 22 is, I believe, my sister, who I think they stole from my sister more than anything else. 22 is choice, decisions and choices are, and my sister is no more in the body. I insist. Do not give anything of hers to anybody because she is not around. She is no more in the body. Okay? So anyone claiming anything, don't just go and give it to them. They're not the appropriate people. My sister is no more. You saw the birch? You saw? You saw the maze in the previous one? I have to hardly earned any money. So I have no my own earned wealth. Whatever I have, my father gave me when I was a baby. I'm living off that. I am educated. I am a double graduate and a postgraduate. But you have rumor mongered about me so much that you got me to be the outsider in my own grandfather's home, because you obviously didn't rumor monger to me at my face. You did it behind my back. And you did it on the streets, at the bottom of the pyramid. That's how you are. But that's not my background. You are the dark energy on the streets. And not only dark energy on the streets, but that is, let's just say, underground. Your movement is completely underground. It has got to do with some revolution, but what you don't seem to understand is you are bound more than anything else by the law of karma here on the land of karma. You are trying to replicate French Revolution in India. All the best to you. This is the land of Vishnu, it is the land of Ram, it is the land of Krishna. You try it. You see what you get in return. You have dared to talk about crucifying me on the cross, but I am not a Catholic. Yes, Shalina has done this. She has done this sometime in 2010, she has told me. I don't know how she coined it. She coined it, you'll have to carry the cross. And something, if you are, I don't even know what she said. She said something really weird. Something to do with, nothing of that sort. But she said you'll have to carry the cross. That's it. You'll have to be crucified. So I said, I don't understand. She's talking this language, but we've never spoken this language because we're basically Hindus. So why talk like this? Then she has spoken about South Africa and the South African movement. Then she has given me Likey Lee's song, I Will Follow You. Then I've gone to New Zealand. Then I don't know what they've done over there. Then I've come back. Then things have never been the same. Now I left Bombay, not because I wanted to leave Bombay, because I can't afford Bombay. So the next best place compared to Bombay is Bangalore. So I moved to Bangalore. But here also they followed me. And then the internet throws up something, YouTube throws up something, they have found you. Now they won't leave you. Sure enough, I don't know, that girl who was working in my house, her husband got into an accident. I say, I don't know what happened to her, but whoever's come to my home seems from Bombay. Now that girl has to last worked end 2024. But today in retrospect, I say in her identity were there 2-3 people. But they have different energy. Or were they just putting egos of people onto this one girl? I don't know. So their movement is genuinely underground. It is French Revolution style, Indian style, supported by all those who were born in the base of the pyramid, worldwide maybe, but the outcomes definitely are not good. That I can assure you. Neither karmically nor ability to earn in the future. That's my take on it. You do whatever you want. My understanding is my understanding. Okay, now anyway, this one is decisions and choices, alternate direction, multiple and double, relationship is trouble. You need to make a choice of going one way or the other. Neither way is right or wrong. Only one way can be taken. In the reverie, the steps can take you upwards and onwards to the point of deliberation. Stairs and steps are symbolic of ascending to a higher place, a much better place, where once you are through the doors at the top, they lead to the stars. The possibilities are infinite. So that reminds me of the Shankaracharya dream that we had in Auckland, 2012. My sister and I, what are we doing? We're walking across an office floor. The girl at the computer is dressed in a salwar kameez. She's got a long plaid, she's got a brown face, and she is on the computer. The bay windows are SpaceX, the initial SpaceX that there was, which we didn't know its existence in 2012. We came to know about Elon Musk and SpaceX only in 2020, 2021, not before that. So then we say, hey, one with these windows now which we are seeing in the on YouTube, this is the same kind of windows and the same kind of seating which we had seen in the dream in 2012, much earlier. But the girl sitting there they were Indian girls, and it's just like long train kind of thing. So you walk, we have come from one side of the office, we have to cross it and go. It's like a train, so you walk from one side, you going through the compartments, and then you walk to the other side, and then we're doing Shankaracharya, where we start climbing the steps. So that reminds me of ascending the steps, but that was 2012. Well, that's what I saw. And the funny thing is, it had my sister and me. But my sister apparently is no more. She's gone. She's done 50% of the work, as I said. She's no more in her body. Okay? Now we have the mice. What is this got to do with? This has got to do with health. That is because whole night they're talking nonsense, giving me bad words in my ears, calling me names. So they're trying to affect the Atma. They're trying to affect the... You cannot affect my Atma, because before you try to affect me, you will be affected yourself by bad karma. You try it, it will go completely against you. So I believe that this was the first card. This was the second card. And this is the third card. Because when we picked it up, we saw this on the top. That means we were the last one thrown. Again, this has got number 7 and number 23. Taylor is number 23. And 7 is got to do with... wants to be gladiator. I studied to be a doctor, Rajan Taylor. Studied to be a doctor, wants to be gladiator. You must not play bells from my body, and do not play buzzers, because my hand also can raise quite heavily. More importantly, if you go to court, you will not be able to pay up the penalty. I'd like you to pay off your karmic debts, that will be okay. Let's not get into it, you're not my type. Yes, you have worked for Salman Khan, shape-shifting for him. Then from that place, what have you done in Bombay? You are the connect, UK, Wales, England to Bombay. PFI screams Saman, but PFI is a terrorist outfit connected to terrorism. Get it by birth. From God's house, nobody can take it from you. And when they do, they'll end up in far worse positions than you were born to. It's generational and it's atomic. You were there in Puttaparthi grounds, you and your family and all your cousins, when the murder attempt happened. It's one trend. Okay, what does this card say? You don't want me in the you don't want those mice in the house. We definitely don't want them around. They bring loss, theft, destruction and decay. Okay, so this is what the mice is. stress, anxiety, worry in society, a nuisance and a pest, can bring sickness in the nest. So this is what they're trying whole night. With whose permission was my brain to be studied, given by which wimp? Where does that rental go to? My house does not require money stolen because God's been kind. In spite of that, you call me dimes and you have stolen also, breaking my locker, shape-shifting in, one as the father, one as the sister. Grabbed assets and gone running with the papers. That you played further filthy? Those who have generational issues when it comes to finances is because they've done lesser bad karma in the past or far worse bad karma in the past. If your past was not so great by way of action done by you and you didn't like the birth you got, it is because you did something in the past. We're talking about your birth. Then how did you better it by doing far more worse? Is your journey going forward? For that we have got Nark and Patal for the next 1 to 10 kalpas earned by you. It's your debts to be paid off at an atomic level. Do you understand it or you still don't understand it? Hey, this great gladiator group of people who dare to talk about social justice. You're being called rats and mice. तुम आगे तो निकलो, पता चलेगा क्या क्या है. These little whatever weather conditions you have is without that population that has already exited out of the body. They are waiting for their passage to the upper spirit realms. Then there is still 60% of the earth population which has not joined your bullshit of shit. They move to the north of the earthly realm by spirit, far more evolved than what the limited human form or any form is. What will you do on the back of it? I cannot understand. They're going to definitely bring you to justice. You're this shit of technology and crap that you have done. You're able to do it because you were given a life form that gives you an evolved intellect of a certain level. ताकि तू उसको सही तरीके से यूज़ करे. तुमने उसको कैसे यूज़ किया? How have you used it? How have you abused your human form? If you weren't given a human form with the human brains, how would you ever be able to indulge in these tactics? But that also what? You created? Or it is a God-given phenomenon that again you abused. Why? Because you're a greedy piece of shit. You are a greedy piece of shit. So now next you'll be in Qatar, waiting. Qatar mein hai. You'll be waiting for how long before you get another form. And when you are in the waiting room, वो waiting room कहाँ पे है? कौन से लोका पे? So anyway, the mice are used to doing gradual destruction of possessions and resources. They nibble at cloth, fruit, bread. They appear to have no regard for ownership. They are rapidly gnawing away while no one is looking. The mice is symbolic of loss, gradual whittling away of one's savings. Combined with the fish, it is actual theft. They eat in little chunks. The mice is delightful, but not when found in our own kitchen. It is a niggling aspect of life and an issue. It becomes a pest in the life. So then when you are niggling in the night when we're sleeping, you're talking some shit because this is about health. What you are hoping to achieve? You're going to affect me. No, asshole, you're allowed to do that shit. You know why? And you know why we sleep peacefully? While you're talking a whole load of crap. Because I know how it's going to track you in the future. And when it comes to my Atma and it comes to my ghost, you are a nobody to actually think you're going to affect it. You have some years, how many? Hundreds of thousands? Then I also have little more than hundreds of thousands of years of different forms and being a soul like you. You do your work. You are accounted for. I've done my work. I'm accounted for. You got your messiahs I got Shirdi Sai Baba. You keep falling, we'll keep watching. You keep laughing while you're falling like a dement, we'll just wonder why you're so stupid. That's it. Okay, the card advises to take care of possessions because the mice are terrible hoarders and most likely represent theft. Okay, that's who you are. Then we have 24 and we have 5. So 24 is got to do with my cousin brother who's no more in the body, I've been told. Okay. So the heart is a form of happiness, love, simply drawn in. He's the original cousin brother. So as I say, I had a very happy childhood. We had very nice people in our family. The trash that has shapeshifted into our space is toxic and crap, and they don't have anything that is required to be part of our family. Just taking a face but not having the Atma, you stick out like a sore thumb. More so when you have this kind of energy. Makes no sense. I know my before and my after. Why have you given my Supari so many times? I'm still the original JAYA.ADVANI, connected with the original Umesh Hingorani. Kailash Hingorani being his mom, being the one who married Mr. Mohan Hingorani, had 3 children, then got married to Mr. Vithal Malya after she got widowed. After a few years, yes, that happened. It's in the past, 76. Then we have spent time with her. Then we are asking you why behavioral changes happened in that same house. Sacrosanct 93, 94, 95, but in my face 98. Go back to the question, why did I have so many near-death experiences? For what? Who all were you getting rid of? Then, when it comes to my work visa at New Zealand, it is 1 month later than what it was supposed to be. Did someone else go from Hamilton to Auckland saying, did you kidnap her? There's somebody in Auckland who went through, when I was living in Auckland, let's say fast forward 3 months, that girl didn't go through a good time. I don't know what happened to her. Then there is the question of the cab, and the cab being something to do with the cab and changing identity. So when I got back to India, you thought I was the replica? Good. Okay, so it says that the heart card is the passion, devotion, and you should make sure there are no bad cards around to spoil the fondness and affection. So we had rats who were spoiling our family, is what I said before. Alright, now in case you don't believe me, okay, so we're saying it varies from a biological, physical heart to a romantic heart embroidered with flowers and other adornments. The heart is, of course, symbolic of love, relationship. It is formed with 2 swans, the bird itself symbolic of courtly relationship, monogamy and enduring love. But this is brother-sister love, okay? So primarily this was spoiled because of the rats. That's it. But that's a very nice cousin brother of mine. And yeah, he was like kind of the star amongst us all as kids because he was the older one. And probably the oldest. Yeah, he was the oldest cousin brother amongst us all. So anyway, they spoiled lots of things for lots of people. It is his home that I believe was stolen from. I don't have much, but they were pretty well off, so I believe it is their home. Lots of things went haywire. Okay, we move on to this number 5 card. It says this is the tree. Okay, so this is to stay and grow health of the body, mind, soul. Okay, look for the cards next to me to find out more about me. When negative cards are closed, pack some tissues for your nose. It is the sign of health, longevity, and the imperative to put down one's roots to ensure a secure future. The card's presence could indicate a health condition that is inherited. Combine this card with previous card of the house and the tree house. Speaks of security but great family responsibility. So in my case, no, it is just with the swans, which is love, but this love, there is shapeshifters who are the rats. So what they've been doing is, the shapeshifters love to be toxic, wearing the face of the originals. But if you have common sense, you will realize that if you were hanging around the originals, you know exactly why you were around the originals and why you liked them and why they liked you. That's what I did for 10 years, thinking my dad is now very old, so he's behaving this way. Today, in retrospect, what I'm saying is, it was happening in every home, whether in Bangalore, whether in Bombay. So that was the work of the rats, because they're not from our family. All they do is wear the face of people. It goes back to what my readings have been saying about shapeshifters, proxies, doubles for the originals. You're an idiot. You're an absolute idiot. And listen, hey, you're not my family. This quality is not my family. You're greedy shit. You're there only for grabbing assets. We've never seen that cheapness. You know, that cheapness with which you have stolen stuff is what we see people in the lower income groups doing. It's a state of desperation. You probably belong to that Sivdi Vivdi all the way to that Uran Puran, that line, that also in the 70s. That's not my background. That's why you stand out like a sore thumb. I come from a background that's refined enough, not this my shit. That is why you have had to shapeshift with the help of your counterparts. I don't know what in their movement they think they're going to get. That is so developed on the back of bad shitty karma. You can never, not ever, get something when your investment and seeds are so poor. It is going one step forward, being happy like a delinquent, high on alcohol and drugs for a little while. Then you come crashing down, you get your cold turkey symptoms, and then life is hell. So frankly telling you, you people who belong to this category, and you are ratting away in the night also when we're sleeping, you like to talk some shit, and you think you're getting away with it. No, you crap. And I don't even bother laughing at you because you're frankly not even funny. You're really stupid. And you stupid shit. So nothing that was not done to you here, no, whatever was not done to you here, वहाँ से तुम पे avalanche होने वाला है. You will not be able to move, and there's no rat trap for you. It's direct. It's over for you. From the spirit realm, it is over for you. Absolutely over for you. It is absolutely over for you. क्या dime man, तो पागल है क्या? You gone mad? You don't understand what is being spoken to you? You need to talk some shit. When you talk with your face. You're bloody useless. Crap from the sewerage. You are sewer Atma. Okay, so anyway, this card, if we come to this card, it says the tree depicts the tree of life, the spiritual symbol that has the roots in most ancient civilizations. Babylon, Egyptian, Jewish images of the tree speaks here of antiquity and ancient roots. The cards also could say it is seen in the rainbow, suggesting good health to be found, aligning ourselves between that which is above and that which is below. The harmony, this is below. The harmony of the colors reflecting through the tree symbolizes the holistic nature of healing and life itself. So, what this is saying is this rat is trying to affect health, also probably spiritual health, atmic health. But the foundations are going back to a much earlier time. So, Babylon and all are things that if we were ever over there, it was obviously not this lifetime. It was something to do with many, many lifetimes before. So it goes back to that only, telling you that we have lived through billions of years, through many, many lives, different forms. As long as we kept with what was given to us as a contract to do, we can't always be absolutely 100% perfect. We can't do that. Yes, we make mistakes. There would have been ups and downs, but as long as it is not gross misuse of the human form, where we shamelessly are ratting away at other people's stuff, which is what I believe the shapeshifters have done in our home. Getting rid of some originals. All those names mentioned, I feel amongst them there are people who have been done away with, and it is the work of the outsiders. I cannot see anybody in my actual family being of this quality. If they had to be this quality, they would have been it in the 70s. There's nobody I can point even remotely of this quality. Have to be outsiders. As I said, what did Sri Ram say when the girl who was working in my house, that maid who was working in my house, Sri Ram said, they will, pack their bags and run. But they will all run from here. What he probably doesn't understand is when you have grown in a particular place and somehow a lot of hard work goes into building something. Then you churn assets, but you have a choice. You could have gone much earlier. Why do we need to run now? The ones who run probably are not even from this country. Everyone who goes somewhere else is shape-shifting up to the time that they can grab, then they go back to a place that they're comfortable. But who in their right mind actually will defame their own family, undo their own family's wealth? It doesn't make sense. And to pick up everything and go from here to there is a humongous effort. We are not working in the police and all. These are industries, they are industrialists. They are very responsible. It's not that we are going from one city to another with bags and with some little furniture and then taking things on rent. These are investments. To move from one city to another, from Bombay to Bangalore, in my small little 2 BHK studio, the small little thing, my home in Bombay is 3 times the size of this, or 2.5 times the size of this apartment of mine, under normal circumstances. But to move from Bombay to Bangalore, I'm not even going abroad. It has taken me at least 3 years to settle down. 3-4 years to settle down. How many changes have happened? It takes time. So just packing up bags and running, if you can't understand that, you're the one who did the grill, right? On the grill you have written PGD, which is DGP, ISAP. First and foremost, when the bomb blast has happened in Bombay, the whole raw got decimated and then re-put together. You first figure that one out. Okay, so anyway, in spite of this kind of activity, this still stays strong. This is what I've been telling you, don't waste your time. करना है करो, हमको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, तुमको मरना पड़ेगा आगे जाके. यू अंडरस्टूड? करम करम है, आधा झूठ बोलो तो मरेगा, वो थोड़े वक्त के लिए. अब तुमने क्या किया है, क्या हद तक किया है, क्या चीज़ के साथ दिया है, ये फ्रेंकली इट इज़ ऑल अ लिबरिंथ, वो लिबरिंथ ही है. Okay, so let's keep that. Now here's the cross. What is this for? And a sly bloody fox. And number 27. Okay. Very strange people. $36. Alright, so what does this cross stand for? Then the sly fox and number 27. But this fox seems to be a good one. Okay. Alright, so the cross is the bringer of grief, sadness, burdens, ordeals, pain, suffering, guilt in the area of expertise, claim, weeping, tears, lamentation, asking for prayers, supplication. When happy cards come out to the right, then you shouldn't experience too much fright. The cross in the Lenormand is a symbol of the state of suffering, universal and unavoidable. Is a state of carrying the burden of others who have not been accountable for their actions. The cross we have to bear. This card is calling card of taking responsibility despite the cost. On a positive note, with this, redemption could come dependent on the surrounding cards. Then we have the fox number 14. Okay, when I am not in your job, I am a red flag for some deviousness that's going on. Look around in the circle in the hall. I could be planning the fall. The master of manipulation, going to fool you all. Craftiness is my fame. Sneaky, sneaky is my game. The original game of hope is written that the cunning fox leads the player astray. This is the trickster card of the deck, and its presence brings cunning and plotting for good or ill depending on the position. The fox looks back upon the prey. Perhaps the crocodile thinks he is the only one awake so early. The fox, that's the crocodile. The fox has prepared his roost though and is sure to get his bird. At the time of the conception of the Lenormand deck, the popular tale of the Reynard the fox, This guy could be from Railroad. That's what I'm saying. The version of my dad, who's supposed to be a duplicate of the original, 1986, is somehow connected with that lady who used to come, the bai who used to come from Railroad. She committed suicide. In her place came another bai who was with us for 18 years. That Kamali bai was staying full time in 2 buildings away from me, ground floor. So my building, first floor is Advani house. It's called Jaswell. My home is used to be number 4 Jaswell. Next to us used to be where now there is the Kotak Bank. Leave that building, then there is a building next to the one which has Kotak Bank in it. On the ground floor over there, this bai used to stay. But her home was somewhere at Ray Road, or she was looking after some kids. God only knows what the background was. She, I have a feeling, was connected to the shapeshifter who is the fox. This is what I feel. And then on the back of that crowd, they hired a whole lot of people. And it's got to do with your French Revolution, the Indian way. Then the children who were of good DNA, whose parents, 1 or 2 of them could have been pulled off the grid from 1986. Who went in to train them, we don't know. But then that's how you probably have the PFI. The PFI has its own links, which is grey. It is unscrewing society in very devious, cheap manner, which doesn't give you good returns at all. Karma is karma is karma, good and bad. What seeds you sow, you will get the return accordingly. Yes, bad PFI Nepean Road, but Nepean Road is not the slum of Bombay. It's supposed to be a high-end residential area. I already explained to you about how Nepean Road is connected to Carmichael Road, how it is connected to Valkeshwar, how it is connected to the two places very important, the governor's house in Valkeshwar and also the house of the ruling ministry or the minister, the chief minister. Every time he is elected for 5 years, he has to stay in that home only, which is in Malabar Hill with the governor's home. They are all in the same vicinity. So how did, and then Priyadarshini Park taking it to Sivri Sewer. But that Sivri Sewer is on that same railroad road only, you know. That's the same line. There is something underground, it's an underground movement, and there is definitely dirty business involved. It's all underground. Okay, so it says that the fox is the master of manipulation and going to fool you all. Craftiness is the fame. Sneaky, sneaky the game. Okay. It is the cunning fox that leads the player astray. It is a trickster card of the deck. Presence brings cunning and plotting. Good or ill depends upon the position. The fox looks back upon the prey. Perhaps the cockerel thinks he is the only one who's awake so early. The fox has prepared the roost and is sure to get the bird. Conception, this was the Reynard of the fox or the Reynard the fox. These collections of tales is depicted Reynard as a false prophet. What did Modi said his mother used to do for a job? बर्तन घिसती थी जैसे हमारी काम वाली बाई. छुटा काम वाली बाई. Modi said his mother also used to do that work. I want to ask Mr. Modi, when my father passed away, I had moved back to number 4 Jaswal. It suddenly struck me. 2018. Mr. Modi had to visit 2 buildings away to Birla Matushri, the auditorium over there. But the amount of noise that these people made for 24 hours before his visit and then after also got me to wonder, hello, I'm here in my grandfather's house. This Prime Minister, what is his name? He had already become the PM. He's going to visit Bombay Hospital, Birla Matushri. So they've done all the preparation for him. But he's going to Birla Matushri, that is 2 buildings away from, or 3 buildings away from my home. What is his connect that these people are doing so much dance drama like he has got something personal to do with my home? I've got nothing to do with him. Whether he comes to Birla Matushri, he arrives there, doesn't arrive there, why should it make a difference to my home? Why have they personalized it? That's where I got the idea. It is possible that in later years, bringing up what happened on that day or the build up to it and the build down to it. It is possibility that that shapeshifter has at some point in time crossed paths with 4 Jaswal. But at which point? And yes, he or she has hired all these people who have worked in our home. And that what is on the street submarine lines all the way to VT and that Azad Maidan. So anyway, it says it depicts Reynard the fox as a false prophet, and many traditional interpretations of the fox carry a sense of false gospel. So beware of the trickery and deception. The fox in the Lenormand symbolizes these traits and more. Beware of the charmer who makes you smile. All is not as it seems. The fox next to the flowers warns of deception and flattery. Skith is. There's nothing actually over here. It is near the one who said that we need to carry the cross. But that was on the face of Shalina, the one you are calling Varsha. I say Varsha is dead. That means the fox who you are supporting as my sister, she's not my sister. She's highly dangerous, in fact. The one who is pretending to be my sister, who you are supporting. I told you are supporting the stealer. Now, small little dimes of mine is one thing, but when it goes into the parliament, how are you going to handle it? That's what shapeshifters do. They're in and out of other people's skins all the time. Why have you not caught it? Or again, you want to call it bloody nation building with blinders on your eyes. First and foremost, whatever I'm saying, are you able to hear it or you don't get the message? Because it's for your own well-being. I get nothing out of it. I've already been through 51, 52 years of my life, and luckily we don't have that much to lose. We haven't toiled in this lifetime so far. God's been kind. Not to ever forget that I didn't bring anything with me when I came here. I haven't earned much on my own. Most of my stuff is with Shirdi Sai Baba and an escrow account. Because when we're going through infested area of parasites and rats, stealers, thieves, that only fools take all their stuff and carry all that with them, knowing that they're going through a shit area in a shit timeline. क्या बेवकूफ़, अभी तक नहीं समझा है. Still not understood it. Taking out smells doesn't quite do it. That makes you more uneducated than before. है तो बेवकूफ़ क्लास. स्मेल निकाल के क्या करता है? How stupid. Okay, finally we come to number 27. This fox is looking over here. So wanted to dump a whole lot of things on me through my sister Shalina, who you're saying Varsha's bae. Varsha is dead. My sister is no more. शेप शिफ्टर हमारा सिस्टर नहीं बनता है, नो मैटर वॉट. वो मोदी के लिए शेप शिफ्ट क्यों ना बने. दैट्स नॉट माई सिस्टर. आई गॉट माई सिस्टर फ्रॉम माई गॉड गिवन बर्थ. माई सिस्टर वुड बी मोस्ट हेटेड बाय मोदी सिंपली बिकॉज शी वॉज बॉर्न इन एन अफ्लुएंट फैमिली, एंड दैट्स मोदीज एनिमीज, राइट? ग्लैडिएटर एंड कंपनी. But I got my own family. By the way, when Sophia was created, who went and spat at Sophia, or those who contributed to Sophia? Whatever's happened with me since 2018 and much earlier also, actually, it tells me your character. The world doesn't need to know your character. The point is, I know your character. More importantly, my witness, which is Shirdi Sai Baba, knows exactly what is what. On the back of it, and with knowledge, not to be taken as a joke, established very clearly in our scriptures. On the back of it, what has happened on the whole is enough to be the noose required to put things in place. So I don't need to do anything except be able to tolerate but not break, and to ensure you are put in your place. Yeah, it says soul Sita, soul Gita. Anti-Indi, anti-God, Satan. Go beat that. Going forward with number 27, the letter. This has got to do with relationships, okay? I am a document, I am a message, I am information, I am a packet. Sometimes I can be an invoice, a certificate, a test result. Find me in your mail, a newsletter, an award. Look around me to find out more of what I am leaning towards. A letter depicted over here with actual correspondence written by Lenormand connects her name to the spirit of the deck. While she did not use the cards which have come to bear her name, no doubt she would be astonished and delighted to be recognized with the continued use today. It is a connection which the letter brings, an intimate communication of familiarity. The letter indicates a communication that may not yet be with us. Slower form of transmission requires patience to make a connection. The letter without the rider hastening towards us is unlike the book. It may not bring knowledge or news as the rider, but rather a simple acknowledgement. Feather on the letter is the quill, and since time immemorial is signifying truth and communication, let us always write straight. So that is to do with relationships. So anyway, this is what is to come. This is the second time I'm getting a letter. Okay. So we'll deal with it when it arrives. We'll see what it is. Well, given the times we're actually living in, it doesn't seem to be too much clarity on things. Okay, are you with me as of now? What I'm saying is is this all that you've spoken is for going forward? So we're talking about during the time of, what time frame should I take? Next 1 year? Is this events for the next 1 year? Is this events for, you're saying no, not for the next 1 year. Are you saying is this events for the next 3 months? Are you giving a timeline for the next quarter then? So should we say April, May, June? Is this indicative of shapeshifters for Varsha, my real sister, Indu, as well as maybe my dad, Kani or Kanayalal? Is this on the back of those shapeshifters? Did they try stealing? Have they been successful in stealing? You're going yes and no. This house of mine they have stolen. This apartment of mine that I'm living at, J1801 Purva Palm Beach, have they stolen it? What about my bank accounts? Have they stolen from there? The stealing is primarily when they broke the locker and ran off with the papers and the divorce papers of yours and the share transfer. You're talking about that is what they stole. The other stealing is getting rent for the leave license POA that they misused. Is that what you're saying? Will they be able to affect my health while I sleep? While they're, with all whatever they keep talking nonsense, they're always insulting and giving bad words when I'm sleeping. So, will they actually manage to attach themselves or affect my Atmic journey? Will they instead be trapped for earning really bad karma on the back of it? Will it in fact turn on them? Is Elon Musk's team involved in this, or whoever he's hired? Are some people from there involved? Is Kira shape-shifting? No, Kira, do you consider Kira and Kiran uncle the same person? Do you consider them to be the same one ego? Kira and Kiran uncle, Kiran merchant. Do you consider both of them to be one ego? Do you consider Kira's ego to be the same as Cyrus Mistry? So are we dealing with three different egos over here? At least when it comes to Kira, Kiran uncle, and let's just say a Cyrus Mistry. Are they three different egos that we're talking about? Yet are they intertwined in some way? Unfortunately. This is the work of something like DeepMind and Neura, of switching egos in people. Will these guys be found out and be put? Will this come to an end if you can see it in the timeline? So everybody can get their natural God-given intelligence back and level of evolution as per their birth and whatever their natural journey was, without sitting and grabbing and confusing things. Will they manage? Will we all just manage to get, for better or for worse, will we all manage to get what was God given to us? She says, yeah, we'll get. And there's like confusion, all coming from that Elon's camp. You got to hear them when I'm sleeping in the night. ये क्या बात करता है? I feel like giving bad words even now. I was smacking that fucking face. Hey, you don't mind. Don't fucking mind. I don't have time for the Hijra class. Grow some fucking balls, okay? I don't want to give you bad words and I don't want to say anything, but you are really something. Cheap as hell, if I can say it. Cheap. That cheap sasta mal. Okay, what I wanted to ask you is through the cards, though I didn't get anything that Shirdi Sai Baba has said about, he said something about the relatives, and is that like a good thing to happen? I had shared it with you earlier also. That is after this confusion passes. This confusion passes in the next 3 months. Will this confusion pass in the next 3 months? So it is like April. say by the time I become 52 years old, my 52nd birthday. Okay, do you want me to throw some Scrabble pieces? Would you like me to throw some Scrabble pieces? Okay, I'll throw few Scrabble pieces. We'll see what you want to say. Hmm? Anything that insists on going out on its own, we don't take. EM or WAN. Mu. In or to do with the mains. So this I'm saying people better take cognizance of this. Tomorrow we can have a fire going off. Or EM main United Nations. But the thing is, EM is also this number 28. Because that's the symbol of Mars. That. That's why he's wearing it on a red thread. Now mu cannot be mu MEU. MEU cannot be his height. So she could be playing the mother. She could be shape-shifting for his mother. EM ma win none. EM's mother wins none. Or wins UN, United Nations. Maybe she's going to be contributing to it in some way. And EA who has worked for his mother is going to the UN or contributing to the United Nations, or wins the nun. AI mu nun. AI women, but not women. Woman is what? Woman. English. Ideally it should be Oman. So Oman is what? OM. Oman is what? OMAN. Oman. New Oman. AI. Which means they're messing around at Oman as of now. Oman is that Doha, Qatar. Doha. New Oman. This guy's gone there or what? Namo's gone over there shape-shifting to New Namu. जो है Namo. You know who Namo is? So what did I tell you about whoever is very clever? He rises from where? The Middle East. He also told you he's going to extradite Hafiz Syed, right? Now I don't know what Hafiz Syed's history is, but you try and make sense of it. Namu in mu. Also, there is an aunt called Nimu from the 70s itself. Perhaps her daughter in some way. Australia involved. Nima is the other name. That is Taylor's sister, cousin sister. Nima New. EU. Or AU. or mu or un or ui. Taylor for sure has something to give and take because the synchronicity of events from that time to, let's just say, this is Nima Taylor. Her cousin is Rajan Taylor, who was the doctor who I said also who could have shifted in the earlier years for the film star. Then he could have got other jobs. But he's also the doctor who wanted to be the gladiator. He's short. You can easily fit into Namo Namo's shoes with a bodysuit. He's also got a long face and a jutting jawline. His teeth are little, they give it, his jaw gives it away. I'd suggest you don't play sounds from my body. I speak as it is. I got my own birth, I got my own experiences. I don't take things, I don't mess things for others. I don't want to be gladiator. I'm glad that God's been kind to me that I don't have all these issues. I wish it was the same with you. Now, if you want to do a public job, do it. The public's not hiding in my body. It's not your job to make sounds from under my body. And it is nobody's business to give my brain for studying to anybody, that also without my permission, and to get a rent on it. No ER will be spared on the back of it. Neither at Pune nor abroad. Neither that Elon Musk either. Yeah, he bloody well know it. If you got a half balls, you set it straight. We're no public figure, we're private citizen. It's a shame you got any position publicly and you're this kind of shit. Whatever I have not done here, I can assure you with full force. It'll be like an earthquake, a tsunami, an avalanche, a meteorite, and every other condition that you can't even bear to think of. That will be coming after you once I go to spirit. Fools take it into their next lifetime and don't straighten out whatever they've done wrong. You belong to that category, then you're a mighty foolish whiz kid, or stupidity of the highest levels. Either you straighten it out or you've already been forewarned. And don't play sounds from my body. I don't appreciate it. Be half a man. Munna, what I'm supposed to think of Munna Munni, ये कौन है? New Munna Munni, I told you. हमने बोला था वो जो मुन्नावर जो है, there's another one of him. Original is, I don't know. Either they have switched his ego with somebody else or taken his ego and gone and put it on somebody else. I don't know. I don't know if the original is still with his body or he has left the body. I'm not sure. But there is another one for him. I told you there are two of them. Funny. तो फनी के बारे बात करूं, कोई वहाँ पे चेयर को क्यों पुल करता है? Why pull that chair? You don't know how to pick it up and put it on a side. Why you have to screech it on the floor? You're playing something that he has done in the past. One more thing I want to warn this lot of you. You are playing events that you have grabbed from, that also cheaply you have done it without anybody's knowledge. Events that have happened between people. Then you take those little clips and then you decide how to deal with the situation, which not even the original would deal with the situation in that way. The original has his Atma, she has her Atma. If at all she felt anything, no, she'll get plenty of chances, he'll get plenty of chances in the future to right the wrongs. Only bloody fools interfere in other people's karma and other people's interaction and then take a high-end call when their low-lying scumbags, sleazy as shit, to react as to how they should try to set things. No, that's not Advait. You don't do that. You leave all of us to our own relationships. Siblings fight with each other. Some siblings don't fight at all. Some siblings become best of friends. Some siblings who are the best of friends fall out. Same with the parents and whatever. You don't interfere. Just grabbing. First and foremost, you're stealing other people's life experiences. Then you want to take a high call how to deal with a person. That's not your place. That's not your place. That's not your place. Because if we take the simplest example as siblings, I think every sibling at some point in time gets into oddities with their other siblings. Now, whether that is a 50-year-old story, a 40-year-old story, a 30-year-old story, you picking up that clip and then you are going into homes and deciding how you want to purge sin. That's not your bloody place. First and foremost, who's going to purge your sin of stealing other people's conscience and other people's egos and then sitting on a high horse deciding how you have to deal with other people? Who the fuck are you? You're a nobody in the case of other people's relationships, because at the end of the day, we are grouped together by birth according to that who puts us together at a soul level. Why are you so busy trying to break it all up? Our relationships make you what? Insecure. So you have to play filthy games to stay ahead of your game. But that's only an anti-God activity. It's not a proper activity. No, it's not a proper activity. You have created so much confusion amongst people in this cheap manner. Frankly, it is not serving anybody's purpose. It's cheap as hell. You are cheap as hell. So let everybody, whoever it is who group together naturally by birth, if they have something to give and take, they'll sort it out amongst themselves. The Atma is endless. Nobody can get away with anything. You get off your high horse, you mind your own business. And if you got problems with your siblings, sort it out for yourself. Nobody else is going to be coming in to do your work for you. No. You have a happy relationship with your siblings, good for you. You have a happy family, good for you. Don't burn. If you didn't have a happy childhood, others had a happy childhood, you don't take a high horse to take little clips when perhaps there could have been a little skirmish amongst two siblings. Which siblings don't fight? Somewhere or the other, the closest siblings would have fought at some point in time. But then they move on from it. My own sister and I would have fought. It would have been like, say, a 10-minute fight. Then we won't talk to each other for 1 hour. Then we're the best of friends. Now that has gotten over when? 40 years ago? You'll take that clip and then you will get the ego of my sister put on to somebody who's a low-lying scumbag. And then you will go and try to attack me on the back of that. And psychological attacks. When are you going to grow up? I don't understand. And if you have problems with your own upbringing, you need to sit down with a counselor, with your parents, and sort your head issues out. Don't go poking your mind fuck or fucked mind into other people's businesses and do the shit you've been doing so far. It's the height of stupidity. Now it's the height of stupidity. When it comes to Munna, I'm telling you, ये मुन्ना मुन्नी जो है, funny. Even before I was told there are 2 versions of him. This is like the 4th reading I'm getting, 4th or 5th. And he has got into a fight with something connected with someone actually physically harming him. Which I'm not sure how it happens. So anyway, you better just check his timeline very carefully. You need to read between the lines. Both for him and Munna and Munni. You know why you need to do that? There's an A and R missing. Why you need to do that? Because whenever the duplicate comes in, they come to spend the money of the original. The hard work of the original. From that place, they will insult everybody in your family. They will break you up completely. The original probably would never do that. So that is the reason why you have to be very careful to ensure this does not happen in your family. That's why. and they're very clever at it. What is the sly fox? He looks like your friend, but is he your friend? No, he's not your friend. You have to be very careful of him. What is the rat? Slowly, slowly, they're nibbling away. Now, if you have elderly in your family, then that's the ones they're going to target finally. They have to be very careful. This is really not about religion. Munawar is a Muslim. I'm a Hindu. This is not about religion. Even if there was a Catholic involved, it's not the religion. It is the greed for money. Anywhere where there is something that they can grab, the greed for resources. Even if you're not very well off, but you have a huge network that they don't have access to under normal circumstances. I don't know this guy. He could be just about anybody. I really don't know him. But the point is, all I'm trying to tell you is, let's say you got access to a network to a particular lot in your community that under normal circumstances, unless they don't use you as the jumping board, they don't get access to that network. That is all it could be. You could have lots of wealth, then that is what it is. It could be a combination of the two, then that is what it is. So you have to be careful. Okay? And okay, those who are gone are gone. The point is those who are gone and then their original family left behind. Those are most at risk. And if it is the elderly and it is the children, then it is the worstest. Okay, so anyway, it is if we had to spell this properly, this would probably be like Munav, AI, Munav, UI, then Munni, or Munni English. So she must be shapeshifting for May Mask. Or he's in awe of the English one. Or she's in awe of the English. Muni Wane, which means to diminish. It could be Muni Wane, it could be Munna Wane too. Waxing is growing, waning is to decrease. So anyway, this is, what do I have to do with these people? Actually, it's not about them, but okay. Okay, are you with me over here? What I'm trying to understand is this Munna and Munni? Are you talking about Munawar? Taruna's friend. So what have I got to give and take with these people? I've got anything to give and take with them? I've only met him for 2 minutes. Then how I can have anything to give and take with him? Munna Munni are a couple. Their brother sister. She shapeshifted or he shapeshifted for Huri Lekraj at any point in time. Other how I can have anything to give and take with them? Have they at any point in time shapeshifted for Huri Lekraj, the ex-mother-in-law? So now that is an old story. So now what I am supposed to do? Does he figure, do they figure going forward in this, in my life, they figure in some way? How do they figure? Are they going to help sort all this confusion out? Is that how they figure? So he's working on this. Okay, 1 minute. The original Munawar is alive. He's still in the body. Is he in his physical form? Who was funny, Taruna's friend, is he still in his original body form? He has left his body. So they have his ego with them. That ego they're going and putting on other people, misusing his position. His family is at risk, whatever I said earlier. They have to look into the matter carefully. Will they be able to handle it and sort it out? You see it in the timeline. The miscreants who have done all this, will they get caught? I'm really fed up, huh? Will these people get caught who have done all this shape-shifting and grabbing of conscience, killing people, replicating them, exchanging egos? Will they ultimately get caught soon? Tell me one thing, when am I going to finally find peace without all this nonsense happening 24/7 in my home? Is there any timeline in the future where I get peace of mind? Huh? You are answering me? You are answering the fan? The fan said something, Munna Web or something. So you immediately went to know. I don't even know what they said. Okay, you are answering the fan. Now can you answer me instead? I want to know, am I going to come out of this situation where all this rubbish that's fitted into my body, the nonsense that these people talk, non-stop bloody chatter of rubbish. Do you see in the timeline that these guys get caught and removed from my setup? And I were in a normal, proper setting with no noise factor. Do you see that happening going in the future? How much time will it take? Within next 1 year? Will they manage to get rid of all these rats? Next 1 year? Within next 1 year? So can we say March 2026? Is it possible that those rats will be caught? Is it possible? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to rest this pendulum now. Okay, and perhaps I could get back later. Is it okay if I rest this pendulum now? You are answering them yet once again. Is it okay if I rest this pendulum now? Okay, so I'll be back a little later. Thank you. So I'll rest this. I'm going to close this session for now. It's saying the same thing. Even last time they said that he was not there anymore in the body. Physical form is gone. They've taken the ego. and they're putting it on different people. So you have to be very careful. His family has to be careful. They look exact the same, you don't know. The only way you will come to know is things will start going haywire around you. That's it. You won't know where it's coming from. And last thing you will think is your own person. That's how much ethics they've got. How much of their own guilty conscience they listen to.